So I made 121 sales in less than 30 days in selling one digital product and this is my first time ever selling digital product outside of my book The Challenge Code. And I want to share with you my top 20 feedback after doing this for 30 days. Now, if you're new to my space, I was in a position where I had some health challenges that I had to work on. And that is, I was preparing to have surgery. So, one of the things I'm known for is going live and live launching my product and teaching expert professional like yourself how to sell one to many. But then when I went in to have my surgery, when I went in, I found out that I was going to be down for roughly about 6 weeks. Now it's turned into like 8, 9, 10 weeks. So when I found that out, I had to switch my business model. I had to switch the way how my business model was set up. So I wanted to figure out what is the thing that would still bring revenue in when I'm not live launching. Live launching doesn't go away. We just add more tools to our toolbox. So I've never I've watched so many people who are way ahead of me on doing digital products, and I just feel like they couldn't relate to me because they're just so far ahead. So the purpose of this channel is to teach you how I take mini courses and turn them into profitability and of course, I cannot say this enough, is how to turn your experience, your voice, the thing that you know how to do so well, you're into a sales machine that continuously sell when it comes to digital products and selling one to many. And now let me just also say this. I want to share the 20 takeaway for real life experience, but I want to be clear up front. This is my feedback from my launch, not a one size fit all rule book. And I'm looking down because I have my notes on my iPad because I post this inside of my community, the next move. So I'm looking through our community and they first heard my feedback. So I wanted to share my feedback here. Now it's 20. So if you don't have 5 minutes to hear the 20 mistakes that I made, so you don't have to make it. If you're thinking about you have an expertise and you want help in that space, I'm giving you the help right now so you don't have to make them. I made the mistakes so you don't have to. Okay. All right. So let me just dive in. Number one, I was able to make the sale based on ads. And I'm going to tell you right now that more ad spend does not automatically create sales. So one of the things I thought was increasing my ad budget did not increase my sales. So running ads consistently at the same spent produced similar result, while scaling spent did not create probability results. So what I realized, I kept getting um, 4 to 7 sales a day for my product, the buyer ready messaging matrix. That's the one product that I ran to get the sales. So I kept saying, oh, okay, maybe I just need to increase my ad spend. But I did increase the ad spend and I did not get any sale anymore. And it didn't make a difference. Right. So I said, oh crap. Well, that didn't work. So again, more ad spend does not mean that that you're going to get more sale. That's number one. Number two, expert like yourself must decide what type of offer they actually want to sell. And what I mean by that is right now, expert must choose whether they want to sell multiple mini courses or one signature offer that contain all that component. So let me dive deeper into what that means. So, and I think I'm going to switch over to my handy dandy whiteboard when I do this because I love to talk and show at the same time because that's how I learn. So right now you may have your signature course that breaks down the all the steps of how you help your clients get results, right? So you may have your signature course, and the signature course may have step one, and then you do step two, and then you do step three, and then you do step 4, and so on and so forth, right? So that's your signature course in those steps. Now, in a mini course, you may have this step 1 is the mini course 1 or mini course 2 or mini. So all of these things are individual mini courses, right? Now, what I mean by what I told you earlier is I want you to think of it like how a person like to learn. My girlfriend and I, we talk about this all the time because we love the whole, well, I used to be this person. I used to want the whole thing, right? But there's some people that you're selling to that just want to know, hey, this mini course to get the result that you say that they need to get, they may just be at this step right here. So they may not need all of this. And if they do, they're okay with paying for what they need. But there's some people like, nah, I just need to know the whole step. I don't want you giving me this and giving that. It feel like you're nickel and diming me. When truth of the matter is, you're just giving them what they need. So you don't because we know when you give people too much, they stall and they don't take action. Matter of fact, that's why we even created the next move for is for people who have so much option and don't know what to do. So having a mini course, it eliminates that person to just focus on that section of that results. So if you are selling something where you help people get grant funding, I'm just throwing that out there. And step 1 is to do the research for the grant. And step 2 is to do the application for the grant, right? That person may just need in a stage of want the application. They may already done their research. So they don't need this step mini course number 1. So they get to choose instead of over here having to get the whole thing. And the price difference is also different. That's why I love mini courses. So when I was talking about this, what I was saying to you is everyone have to figure out what they need based on where they are in their life and business. So let me go back to the next one. Uh Now, knowing which one you want of what I just said, knowing the thing that you want will give you the definition of number 3. Offer structure determines the type of buyer you attract. Some buyer want the comprehensive, all in system. Others just want the specific by site solution. Your offer choice filters your audience. So my girlfriend, she sells books. She's an amazing book coach, and she have a comprehensive course, and I love that. I love from start how to write your book, how to monetize your book, and so on and so forth. And then now each person may say, hey, I want this specific thing. So each your audience that you whatever you choose, whether it's a mini course or a signature course, you get to determine which one. What I love and favor mini courses is just because you don't have to sit there and listen to the whole thing that is not applicable to you. If it don't apply, let it fly, right? So I love that. But again, you get to choose your audience based on the style of how they like to learn. So number 4, you must choose a back end that fits the season that you're in. Now, this is so important to understand because number 4, we're given feedback on my 20 takeaway of me creating and launching my first mini course to 121 sales. Um, the back end I was not prepared for because I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. And again, you gotta understand too, I was going through my surgery while launching this. And the beauty about doing a digital product, which is why I did it, I did not have to be present to sell the course. I did not have to be present. So that's definitely one of my takeaways that I wanted to kind of pay attention to. That the back end, what I had in mind for the back end, did not fit the market, the audiences that I was bringing in. Because when you're selling mini course, it's kind of like they have this compulse behavior to just buy the course, right? Is that compulsive sale that they have. And when you're selling a signature course, which is kind of like more high end, it's when you're all in, like it's a mastermind, it's a high ticket. So my back end was considered to be high ticket. So I had to revamp what my back end offer is going to be because the type of audience I was bringing in didn't fit the back end that I have. Hmm. So that's something that you need to think about when it comes to launching your own mini course. So the front end offer must design. That's number four. Number five, the front offer must design to pay for the ads. Now, this is a part where I really struggle. So order bumps and upsell should offset an ad, but my current ones underperform. So when I say order forms and upsells for people who like may not know what I'm talking about, when you're creating your digital product, you have something where you have your main offer, right? So that's your main offer. And your main offer could be 17 to, let's say, $97 offer, right? So five people buying that does not make you a millionaire, right? Or let's say two people buying that does not make you a millionaire, right? So what happened, you have to spend, when it comes to ads, let's say you spend at least $100 a day. Well, making two sales from this offer does not, you're not even breaking even. So what happened is somebody may have whatever the mini course is, they may need something else. So whatever your mini course is on, let's say this is an ebook that you're selling plus bonuses, right? That said, let's say that is your mini course. That mini course, you may have an actual, I'm sorry, that offer may have a course, a mini course to that offer, right? So this would be considered your upsell. So this course complement your offer, your existing front end offer, right? So what you're looking for is, if the mini course, if the, yeah, I keep saying mini course because this your front end offer. Let me do this front end because I can stop saying mini course. Okay, your front end offer could be, let's say your front end offer is an $18 offer, right? Again, that doesn't cover that $100 ad spend you just spend that day. So your upsell, which may be the mini course off the ebook, you see how that works? That may be a $97 offer. And I'm making this up as I go, right? So now that 97 plus that 18 covers that. So let's say you're looking at $118, give or take, right? $118. That is more than the $100. So that's why we have an upsell to cover that. And we may also have a down sale. Like, okay, it's 97, but I'm going to give you for half off. I'm just going to give you for 47 or whatever it may be, right? That's what we call a down sale. But the idea here is all of these things, the goal of this is to cover your ad spend. So technically, you get that lead for free. That's the goal. So that's where I fall short. I was making a lot of sales. So thank God I had enough sales coming in to offset this cost. But truth of the matter is, it would have been better if the upsell had kicked in more, right? So that's something to really pay attention to. And I'm glad that I'm telling you so you can know, so you don't go through that as well. And that's why we're doing this feedback right now. And that's why this feedback is so helpful. All right. Now, number 6, the sales dopamine effect emotional regulations. Now, what I mean by that is uh the when you're seeing so much sales coming in your business, when you're seeing so much sales coming in, you're like kind of like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be rich. Like, no. But I had to like kind of regulate my nervous system because I was not used to hearing my stripe ding, ding, ding so much. And it was one day where like, because I made a sale every single day. So there was one day when there was no ding. And I'm like, what in the world? I was feeling like, oh my God. I was like, feel like a drug addict. Like, listen, like, what? What's going on? Is my phone working? I went back to Strive to see if there was something wrong. But truth of the matter is that's that dopamine effect. So you have to be prepared for that because when you're not used to it, it affects you. So, but I fixed that very well by turning off the notifications. And I'm going to tell you later also how I fix that. Number 8, data means perfection. Data beats perfection every time. So I always say data over drama. If you know the data, launch imperfectively. I said it in the last video too. I'm gonna say it again. That you're gonna throw it out there to the world, to the universe. When you do your digital offer, you're just gonna throw it out there, and then the feedback from people gonna make you tweak, change it, do different things with it, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like what the young people are doing right now. They're throwing out their ugly out there in the world, and they're tweaking it publicly, and that's a whole other mindset you have to work around. For my millennials who always want to make things perfect and then put it out, God bless you. We need to work on that. So I'm not going to spend too much time with that. Email. Number 9, email is still one of the strongest sales tool. The relevant, frequent emails outperform perfectly polished but infrequent communication. Again, when you get these people coming in on your list, it's not just to sit there. Your job now is to really help them now that they're in your space, in your community. So frequently sending out your emails is important. Relevant emails, right? And instead of trying to say, well, let me make my email perfect. No, just send. It's in the doing that you get better. So the more emails you send out is in the doing. Now, Sherry, what they said, I'm spamming them. They have the unsubscribe button, right? They can unsubscribe. You're going to keep selling. So one person unsubscribing, you're getting two for the person that's unsubscribing, right? Two people for that one. And to me, having custom buyers is way better, but we're going to talk more about that later. So their mindset is a little bit different. So that was about emails. Number 10, everything should be anchored from a true 10x goal. So without clarity on the real 10x goal execution fragments, the 10x vision dedicated all downstream decision. So what do I mean by that? Number 10, everything you do, you first have to start from a 10x goal. What is the 10x goal? And I'm not talking about goal as in I want to make this amount of money. The 10x goal is how many people do you want to reach? Like I have been saying that I want to help 1,000 women make 200, 1,000 women in 2026 make $2,000 or more, right? So that's a 10x goal, $2,000 extra from what they're making right now. So, and that stemmed from my first program I ever had, 2x. I had a program, 2K for 2K. So my goal has always been have the women in my program make an extra $2,000 more from what I'm showing you. So that can be your play money. That can be your cruise money. I have a client that she is a travel agent, and we always it's always that 2K. Oh, how much is it called for the three of us? 2K or whatever, So I've always mortgages are is around that. So that has always 1,000 women every year make an extra $2,000. So that's a 10x goal. How do I do that? Not on me, but now that I know what that 10x goal is, then I can bring it out and said, okay, how will they be able to do that? How do I create micro courses that allow me to do that? So you always want to start from your 10x goal. So ask yourself, what is your 10x goal? And if my 10x goal is to help 2,000 women make the first 2K, from what? What am I using it from? From the products, the mini courses that I launch. And the reason again for mini courses is because you're smaller, and you can grab what you want. And so you start billing out from your 10x goal all the way down. That's pretty much okay. Mini course. Now, how do I market that course? Right. So you see how as soon as I open one door, I close another, and vice versa. As soon as I close the door, I open another. So how do I market that? How do I get that out there in the atmosphere? What will my business model look like for that? So just having that 10x goal answer the other questions for you. All right. So that's yeah, so that's the number 10. I have this inside of my group, and I that's where I'm creating the information from. I have a the next move group that's in there, and because I share this with them first, I'm going to let me see if I want to keep going. Yeah, let me see how much. Okay, number 11. Ads create momentum, but sales stop once ad stops. So boom, boom, boom. This is really important. When you have ads, it creates momentum to sell your digital product, sell that mini course. But once those ads turn off, baby, so does the sale. So, which is, i.e., why I always tell my clients you need one platform, which in this case you see me on YouTube, that you're going to be committed to showing up to. It could be your Facebook group, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be a podcast, which I also have my podcast as well over there. But you got to figure out what is that one platform that you're going to commit to. So even if your ads stop, you are still committed to that platform where people can see you and build trust and build that authority, because so your business is not always rely on ads. So that was super, super important for me. All right, number 12. Fast transformation increases buyer retention and ascension. Fast transformation. So fast transformation is one of my client that I met with in one day. Let me see if I can bring her up. One of my client that I met with uh, in one day. I'm gonna do that so stuff don't be showing. Okay, I'm not going. I was gonna bring her up so you can see the example, but we built out her framework on what she's going to be doing. She's inside the next move community. We built out her framework. And when we build the framework out for what she's going to do, it gave her the clarity to make her next move. And literally the next day, she had her first sale, her first one-on-one sale, that fast. Now, disclaimer, it doesn't always happen that fast. Let me just go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. But I think the fact that she was clear on her after coming from our call on her framework on what she's doing gave her the confidence to speak on that call to get that sale. So that's what we mean by fast transformation. That's that she already had made back her money that she had spent with us. So going back to that fast transformation that we just talked about, that was a game changer. Like it's literally, I was like, wow. I was just so proud of her. Okay. So you're that was number 12. The quicker someone experience or real results, the more likely they're going to work with you. So there goes that. Number 13, when something works, scale it, but make sure you have the cash flow to support it. So what worked for me? What worked for me is my creatives in my ads, like the way I learn how to speak to people. That's why we talk about how to turn your voice and experience into a sales machine that give you more time and freedom. The secret behind that is having to know the buyer psychology of how to speak to your target audience. That is what really worked for me when it comes to that. So I had to figure out what is that thing that worked. The messaging on the front end of how I market my business, that's what worked for me. And that's what gave that transformation. And that's why we focus more on mastering communication inside of our group more than anything else, because the buyer ready message of knowing how to speak to co-buyers, because again, 90% of these people are co-buyers, that is what worked for me. So we have to scale more of that. Number 14, more people need to see your offer outside ads. Yes, relying solely on paid traffic limits stability. So visibility need to expand beyond ads. That's so important. And I think I said this already. Number 15, drama is exciting, consistency is profitable. Complex. Some of you want to create this flashy thing. It's just it has to be so flashy. Your editing videos has to be flashy, and you got it. No, 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 no. You don't need a drama is exciting, but consistency is profitable. Okay, so consistency breeds drama. and theatrics every time. Okay. Number 16, you don't need all of that. Number 16, your motivation is creation and execution, not external validation. So, what do I mean by that? Your motivation is based on what you create in your head and not external validation. You're driven by watching others move from thought to execution based on something that you create. And what I mean by that is me watching a young lady that I met with win one day and then listening to her had her win the next day. And she had the confidence to speak and know her stuff so well and show up. That is beautiful. That's just beautiful. And then even after the sale was done, we proceeded to continue to serve her. Like if five people want to work with you right now, do you know what to do? Do you know what's the next move so you can be seen professionally, right? And our community helped her to do that, and I love that for her. All right, I think number 17, I just said it, watching clients get results, validate the work, right? That's what we aim for. We have this thing where there's no testimonial left behind, right? So, because our job, I don't know about you, but for us, is to make all our clients a case study. All our clients. We want to see that big win. Matter of fact, when we come on our calls, the first thing we say is, "So, what's your win today?" That's our goal. And win does not have to be like a monetary thing. A win can be something to where it's a win can be something to where their aha moment, a transformation in their life, the way they're thinking, their thought got changed. So that's big for us. Number 18, selling creates buyers, but buyers outperform free leads. So for in the beginning when I didn't understand how this space worked, I've been in this space as in coaching space since 2017. I'm a full-time entrepreneur in this space. Haven't been on somebody's job since 2017. And I was always told you need to build your email list. You need to build your email list. And I'm the type of person, I'm coachable. So I will do what you say. I built my email list. But let me tell you what happened though. I built my email list of freebie seekers in the beginning. Like people who just want that free lead magnet but never take action. So I created that goal, that one big 10x goal. Part of that ascension of that goal is, hey, I want to build more customer lists. I want more buying customers because they know that there cannot be a transformation without a transaction. So if they know that, I can work with them. They're already starting they're already started. We can work with that. But if you're still stuck in that, hey, I just want to get these freebies, and these freebies are just a piece of what's behind the scene, but you never want to go behind the scene, there's nothing I can do for you because the thought process needs a shift. It needs a perspective shift. So this year, our last year, I have been really intentional of working with buyer ready people who are in the ecosystem that says, hey, I want to take these things, this is where I am, what is the course that fits where I am, and then you come to our community to help you build out that thing, that ecosystem of the thing that you want. We can work with you in that space because I learned that a buyer outbeat a freebie person leads every time. All right. Selling on the front end builds higher quality audience than free leads. Buyers engage differently and they move faster to take action. All right, number 19. We're gonna have two more to go. I try to hurry up, try to get this. I knew it was gonna be a little long, but it was worth every penny, every time the time that you're spending right now. Number 19. Identity determines what becomes normal. I'm going to read this to you. The real question isn't about what you want, but who you must become for consistent back end conversions and growth to feel normal. Isn't that powerful? The real question isn't what you want, but who you must become for consistent sales, back end conversion, and growth to feel normal. Now, this was deep for me because when those notifications going off and I was not used to it because I wasn't used to sale, I said to myself, how the identity shift that I had to go in is who do I need to become for this to be normal? For this thing that I'm experiencing to be normal. Who do I need to become for consistent sales, back end conversion, and growth to feel normal? In a time where everyone is like, oh, it's economy, it's this, it's that, it's politics. I wasn't experiencing that, or I'm not experiencing that because I chose a different perspective. I chose a different path. And that's what I think was different. I had to become a person. Oh, this is normal. People are, I'm getting sales, 7, 8, 9, 10 sales a day. Oh, this is normal. I had to walk in, not become it, but not becoming it, but be it. Big difference. So I had to be that person that is used to that. So the dopamine don't take over, because dopamine can be a good thing if you know how to move that energy into something positive. And last but not least, 20, number 20, alignment is a multiplier of everything. Momentum comes from alignment. Alignment protects your creativity, sustain energy, and allow demands to form without force. Last but definitely not least, I think the secret to this, launching my first digital product with having, my goal was to have 40 sales. So I double my goal, triple my goal, I should say. But I think what made this work for me is because every step of the way that I chose, I was in alignment. My back end was not in alignment with what I wanted to sell on the back end. What I wanted to offer and give as an opportunity. So I had to pull that back because it just was not in alignment. And I remember my mentor told me, like, you just no. I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. So out of all the 20 feedback that I just gave you, when it comes to selling your digital products, if this is your first time or you may be more experienced, my number one takeaway is, whatever you choose to do or whatever one you choose to take away from this, you have to be in alignment with what you are selling, and you have to be in alignment with the steps to market your product. It just no way around that. Alignment is so important. It's the driver of your business. All right, that's all I got for you today. I hope you took something from this. Tell me what number really resonate with you at the bottom. I would love to hear your feedback on something I said. Which one of these number really speak to you when it comes to creating your own mini courses? Let me know.